about the success in the upcoming future. I always pray good for you. Prayer causes miracles, and I believe in this. So we have to pray for us, for others. Because when you pray for others, angels are praying for you. And this is true. So always feel good for others, always want good for others, wish good for others. Refrain yourself from negativity and always generate a positive thought. Never say, avoid using sentences by saying no, not, don't. Instead, say, focus on those sentences in which you have to do something. So construct a positive attitude towards life and your outlook will completely change within a few days. So I would like Surleen to unmute and begin with the universal prayer today. Surleen,
Yes, ma'am.
please,
Lord,
all of you, it's a sincere request. Sit in a perfect prayerful posture and raise your hearts in prayer. Surleen, please start.
Lord of all power and might, give me wisdom and understanding today. Let me grow in knowledge and bear fruits with active goodness. Strengthen me with ample power to see whatever comes with gratitude, patience, and joy, and to give thanks to you in all things. Amen.
So nice of you, Surleen. Something different from your regular prayer. It feels good. It means you have prepared prayer, though you don't know whether you were asked or not. But this is the dedication. Students who are sincere, definitely they are showing this thing. And I appreciate that she had a prepared prayer in front of her, though she don't know whether she was asked or not. So today we are going to read about a very brilliant man in the history of India. He is the pride of the nation, dear girls. And science students, you are aware about him because you have already read Raman's Ray, isn't it? पढ़ा है Raman effect? Okay, maybe till now. Dr. C.V. Raman. Today we are going to read about him. The celebrated genius. Celebrated genius. This is the title in front of his name. So, in your book, this is some sort of autobiography. So, who was C.V. Raman and what actually he did? The most important thing about his personality, he is the first and the only Indian who got Nobel Prize in Physics. Okay. So C.V. Raman, Chandrasekhar Venkat Raman, full name. Okay. 1928, he was born on 28 February 1928. Yes, Kashish, good. He worked in the field of light scattering, I know. So, he was National Science Day is celebrated to pay tribute to the Nobel laureate Dr. C.V. Raman. Every year on 28 February, you are celebrating your National Science Day, in which many university, many schools, many colleges open many fields of science for the upcoming students. They invite students for their projects. Maybe you have participated in some science conference and all, science congress and all. So 28th Feb was his birth date, and 28th Feb is also a National Science Day. We celebrate National Science Day on 28th Feb because of C.V. Raman, in order to pay tribute to the Nobel laureate. Because such people are literally known as the pride of the nation. None of the country you cannot calculate a country's growth on the monuments, on the number of the religious institutionals and all. You can always count your country's progress by seeing their educated students, by seeing their medical health facilities, by their education system, by the research work going under the universities. In that way, you can say that this country is progressing. If you are constructing a huge structure of 3,000 or 30,000 crore, it doesn't matter for a poor. But if you are researching on something that will affect the life of the poor people, because you after that you are going to frame some policies. So open the mental horizon, read something good about such people who had done very well in their life. You all are afraid about physics, isn't it, science students? Many of you are afraid about physics. When the physics exams are there, you feel insecure about your derivation and all. And look at this man. From the very beginning, he developed his interest in sciences. It's all about your mindset, beta. It's all about your interest. Whatever you are having interest in, you can be perfect in that. You can achieve heights in that. So go with that. No problem what it is. He was born on 7 November 1888 in Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu. His father was a laureate in mathematics and physics. Okay. On 28 February 1928, he discovered the Raman effect. His discovery came into existence on 28 Feb 1928. That is why Feb 28 is dedicated to Mr. Raman in order to pay him tribute. And his name is Chandrasekhar Venkat Raman, born this, place of birth Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu, father's name Chandrasekhar Iyer, and mother's name Parvati Amnal, spouse name Lakshmadri Anmal, and died on 21st November 1970. Place of death is Bangalore, Mysore, State of India. And discovery, what was the discovery? That is Raman's effect. Raman effect. Award इनको कौन कौन से मिले हैं? Matic medal, Knight Bachelor, Hughes Medal, Nobel Prize in Physics, Bharat Ratna, Lenin Prize, Fellow of the Royal Society, Knighthood from the Great Britain. That is not mentioned here, but many more awards are there. You have nothing to do with this dates and all. So Chandrasekhar Venkat Raman, how was his early life and what was it? Your your book, that is Chinar one, what it was having, it is starting with the voyage he was doing. Once he was on a voyage to the Europe in 1921. This you have to note down. Please have a pen and a paper in your hand in front of you and start writing that he was on a voyage to Europe in 1921 as a representative of Calcutta University to meet a science meet. Okay. He was the youngest physicist and during his voyage, when he was on the deck of the ship, he was wondered that why the water of Mediterranean Sea was such a dark shade of blue. Cause the water in other sides of rivers and all have no that dark color, but he wondered that why Mediterranean Sea water is very dark in color, and he start researching on that question, that why the water of the Mediterranean Sea is a dark in blue, dark shade of blue. And the answer, when he unrevealed the answer, when he researched, that answer won him world's most prestigious award, that is Nobel Prize 1930. 1921, he had an idea, he got a question in his mind, that question stuck to his mind in 1921 during the voyage, that why the water of Mediterranean Sea is dark blue in color. And after 9 years of research, after 9 years of full dedication and hard work, he got his answer, and that answer bring laurels to him. He won a Nobel Prize. Okay. At that time, when he won the Nobel Prize, India was a colony of Britishers. So it's a very proud moment for a country who is a colony. आप समझ रहे हो बात को? That moment was extraordinary special for India, because at that time India is known as the land of the snake charmers. सांपों और सपेरों का देश है. You know this thing, the fact, when India got independence, only 6% people of the total population of India were educated, sorry. At the time of the independence in 1947, the literacy rate of the whole population of India is just 6%. 6%. Out of 100, only 6 people were literate. And that is not two of highly qualified. Maybe 10th, maybe 12th. बीए तो जो कर लेता था उसकी तो बात ही और थी, वो तो जवाहरलाल नेहरू बन जाते थे. So at that time, when some country is internationally, that country is nothing, that is a slave country, and the people over there are known as the snake charmers. They are known as the illiterate, land of the illiterate people. One personality among those masses came forward on an international platform and represents your country, that yes, we are Indians and we can achieve anything. So he appeared to the finance civil services, okay, examination and topped. At the age of 11th, he passed 10th class, and at the age of 17 completed MA physics. Okay, right now 17-year students are appearing in 12th class, but he was 17 and he was finished with the MA because he was so brilliant. Okay, so he want to move outside for the next important point you have to note down. He want to move outside. Please note, he want to move abroad for the higher education, higher studies. After finishing the schooling here, university here, he want to do his research in abroad. But the doctor who was he went for applying visa, and for visa, you know, you need your medical certificates, and he was rejected by the British doctors, saying that you are an Indian and your body cannot tolerate the harsh climate of England. There is cold in England, heavy snowfall, and you are from the hot climate from the Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu. You know that Tamil Nadu is nearby equator, and the temperature of South India is quite hot because the equator passes by. So, but that doctor, first you have to note down in this chapter that on 1921, he was on a voyage, and the question struck to his mind that why the Mediterranean water is dark blue shade. And he searched on that. 9 years after 9 years, he got his answer, and that answer brings him the Nobel Prize in 1930. First point. Second point, from his beginning life, that he wants to study abroad after finishing the schooling and college here. He wants his research to research abroad in the England. But one of the doctor who was supposed to give him the medical certificate for a visa, he said that you are from the hot climate of Trichypalli and your body cannot is not suitable for the harsh cold climate of England, and he was rejected. He was rejected. Okay. And what he did after he appeared for the financial civil service exam, FCS examination, and topped. Okay. And he joined as assistant accountant journal. Assistant accountant journal. But in the spare time, he went to the laboratory for doing research at the Indian Association for the Cultivation of Sciences. Means some of you are very, I have observed you during the school functions that some of you are very fine dancers, very brilliant moves. You live for your dance आपकी body में. You listen music and you start moving your shoulders and your legs start thumping on the ground. But you are forced not to do that activity all the time, not to take it as your profession. Okay, it's fine, you are joining some school program and all. There you can dance for half an hour and after that you have to move. But nobody is allowing you. Circumstances are not allowing you to take your passion as your profession. So that is the case with Mr. Raman. He want to become a scientist, but after the rejection that he cannot move abroad for the research work in India, and in India he will not get much opportunities and not proper equipments and all. So he dropped the idea, and circumstances, family circumstances, कमाना भी तो है ना, घर भी चलाना है. Family circumstances forced him to join some job, and for that job he joined financial civil services and he became the assistant accountant general. But his passion, जैसे आपका भी passion है, तो आप क्या करते हो, चोरी चोरी रूम लॉक करके डांस कर लेते हो किसी सॉन्ग पर. कई बार ऐसा भी होता होगा, मम्मी से छुप के भी कर लेते हो, because you love it. The thing you love it, you always make a way for it. Okay. So in the spare time, whatever time he get after his job or before going to the job, he spent that time in the laboratory. See the dedication of the person. Laboratory for his research work. His job was very hectic, but he continued his research work. You know, assistant accountant journal job is not a joke. It's quite hectic. Facilities available in the laboratory were very limited. Okay, you know, even now after that so many years of India, we don't have proper infrastructure after growing so much. At that time you can definitely understand the plight of the person who have way more potential, but he's not getting proper platform, proper infrastructure. So he continued his research and published his findings in leading international journals, and some journals names are here like the Nature, the Philosophical Magazine, and the Review. And after some time, what happened, he decided one day that he want to dedicate his whole time for his research and he don't want to continue the job. Some of the presidency college from the Calcutta, presidency college from that they from the college they offer him a job to become a professor, but the pay of professor is very less as compared to the pay of accountant general. This is your third question, third important point. First, regarding the voyage, that question, and the Nobel Prize. Second, he was rejected on the medical grounds that his body is not uh, adjustable to the climate of England. Okay. Third, he joined as an accountant assistant and he was earning very good, but his curiosity in the science grew day by day, and finally he got an opportunity that some college in Calcutta offered, University of Calcutta offered him to be a professor in the university, and though he was less paid, it is a question and it is frequently asked in the question that why he quit a job when for a less paid job. उसने कम पैसों के लिए नौकरी क्यों छोड़ दी? आपको अगर एक जगह पे 1 लाख रुपीस मिल रहे हैं और दूसरी जगह पे मैं आपको बोलूं कि भाई मैं आपको 50,000 ही दे सकती हूँ, आप मेरे पास आ जाओ, आप नहीं आओगे, आप 150 वाली साइड मूव करना चाहोगे. बट रमन ने ज्यादा पे वाली जॉब छोड़कर कम पे वाली जॉब की तरफ मूव किया. क्यों? बिकॉज फॉर हिम मनी is not everything. Life में पैसा सब कुछ नहीं होता, satisfaction भी matter करती है, and he know that he has to divide his time from his research in his job, and that is quite hectic. So when he joined the university, his purpose is that in the university he will get in touch in the laboratory and he will continue his research work also. University में professor की तरह पढ़ा भी लूंगा और laboratory भी होती है, तो वहां पे मेरी रिसर्च भी चलती रहेगी, मुझे शफल नहीं करना पड़ेगा. So he resigned from that job and joined as a professor. And world was not slow to recognize him. Okay. When the Nobel Award was announced, have you heard about the, please search the Nobel Prize speech of Raman. You will feel literally motivated. Yesterday I was reading and it was too good. When the Nobel Award was announced, he saw it as a personal triumph, means victory, an achievement, recognition for a very remarkable discovery, for teaching the goal he had pursued for 7 years. But when he sat in that crowded hall, what happened? He tells us something that when I was sitting in that crowded hall and I saw the Western faces surrounding me, he was observing everybody. There are no other Indian apart from him, and he felt literally moved that every country was having flag. Every country was having flag, and he said, I felt literally bad and tears rolled down my cheeks that I felt like we are so poor, so poor that my country is not even having a flag. हम इतने गरीब हैं कि हमारे पास एक अपना पहचान नहीं है, एक फ्लैग नहीं है. We are so poor. He said that I received the prize from King Gustav. It was a moment of a great emotion, but I could restrain myself. Then I turned round and saw the British Union Jack. What is British Union Jack? Anybody having idea? British Union Jack is known as the British flag. Britishers का जो flag है, Indian का जो flag है, England का, उसको हम British Union Jack भी कहते हैं. So, under which I had been sitting, and it was then that I realized that my country, India, did not even have a flag of her own. And it was this that triggered off my complete breakdown. He was so moved by the emotion that tears started streaming down his face. When he received Nobel Prize, he was not crying out of joy that he had achieved something very big. No, he was moved by seeing this. I was sitting under the British Union flag, British Union Jack, and my country, India, is so poor that she don't have her flag. At that time, you know that India was a colony, Britishers colony, and every state of India were under the control of Britishers, and we have the British Union Jack over our Lal Killa, over our Parliament House, everywhere. Okay, we don't have our own flag, nationalized flag. तिरंगा नहीं था उस वक्त हमारे पास. But Raman was proud to be an Indian until the day he died. One day, it happened that some young man, like we, some young generation people, asked him a question that, did you not find it embarrassing to be in London with a turban? Means Raman was quite simple. He was always wearing dhoti, kurta and turban. पगड़ी भी सिर के ऊपर, मद्रासी पगड़ी नहीं होती, मद्रासी turban. Like in the picture, you can clearly see he was having a Madrasi turban over his head. Okay. So one of the person asked him that why you always wear this turban in London also? You are in London now. You can be modern. I will show you his Raman spectrograph. The first Raman spectrum was obtained with this spectrograph. You know the spectrograph? What is spectrograph? Anybody from sciences stream? Please unmute. What is spectrograph? Please. Science stream. All are sleeping.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Ma'am, it is the instrument which is used to measure the light, the rays.
Yeah, it is the instrument which used to measure
the light rays.
Yes. An apparatus for photographing or otherwise recording a spectra, means light. कर लिया Google? So, what somebody asked him that, are you not ashamed of yourself that you are wearing turban in London? So outdated. कितना cheap है ना, ऐसी वाली बातें. Out fashioned and all. So he replied very calmly that I will tell you one incident of my life, that once I was to attend a science seminar in the Royal Institution, and I have to hear the lecture by Lord Rutherford. पढ़ा है Lord Rutherford को आपने? Science वाले? Okay. And he arrived a little late. By the time the lecture was started already, and he quietly slipped into one of the back rows and sat there. जैसे आप कभी लेट आते हो तो कॉलेज में या बड़े बड़े सेमिनार हॉल्स में दो डोर्स होते हैं, वन एट द एंट्री पॉइंट एंड वन एट द एग्जिट पॉइंट. ठीक है, तो जो लेट आते हैं वो सबको डिस्टर्ब नहीं करते, वो पीछे से आ जाते हैं अंदर. तो he came late and he quietly went through the back gate and he sat there. Suddenly, Lord Rutherford looked at me and said, Professor Raman, why are you sitting there all alone in a back row? Come up here to the front. From the lecture stand, Mr. Rutherford, the world-renowned scientist, Mr. Rutherford, he called that person from the back row that, Mr. Raman, please get up and come in the front. Why are you sitting all alone there? I then went and sat in front row with the all famous British scientists. After the lecture, Raman went to the Mr. When Raman went to Mr. Rutherford and asked, Professor, how did you recognize me? We never met. बेसिकली रदरफोर्ड ने कभी रमन को देखा नहीं था, उससे मिले नहीं थे. ओके, बट ही रिकॉग्नाइज हिम फ्रॉम द बैक that please get up and get in front. So he asked, when out of curiosity, he asked that we never met. Why how you recognize me? So he tell, well, I have read your papers, and when I saw a person in audience wearing a Madrasi turban, means when Mr. Raman said, this is my first trip to England and we have never met so far, then Rutherford replied, I have read all your papers, and when I saw a person in the audience wearing a Madrasi turban, I knew it must be you. So Raman asked, so the young man, now tell me what is wrong with a Madrasi turban, isn't it? Nowadays, foreigners are adopting yoga and we are moving towards Zumba. They are adopting organic and we are moving towards fertilizer. They are adopting Kathak and we are moving towards salsa. It is a drastic change, my dear girls. In your peer pressure group, many a times I have observed this thing. You are very clothes conscious, that if I'm not wearing jeans, everybody will call me behenji or everybody will call me outdated. So that is not our culture. And following others' culture is not bad. Pizza is an Italian culture. It is a daily meal, their staple food. But our food is not pizza, but we make pizza a status symbol of a status and a class. So why we are not following and respecting our roots? Malkham is Indian way of gymnastics. Please mute. Yoga is an Indian way. Ayurveda is an Indian way, and foreigners are acknowledging it, respecting it, and adopting it. And what we are doing, we are adopting Zumba, we are adopting salsa, we are going towards pizzas, we are going towards torn jeans, we are forgetting our saris, we are forgetting our salwar suits and all. We feel that मैंने बहुत बच्चों को ये कहते हुए सुना, मैम मैंने तो आज तक कभी सूट पहना ही नहीं. So this is not a class. This is not a thing to appreciate. The person who cannot respect his roots, who cannot respect his culture, who cannot acknowledge his own country's culture, will never be acclaimed as a good person in the society. He don't have any respect across the world. Raman always stick to his culture, his country. That is why he was acclaimed globally. And till now you are reading Raman's effect in your books. So आपने कभी वो पेड़ देखा है जिसपे बहुत फल लगते हैं? Apple tree. I had shown you the picture of apple tree laden with the apples. When it is the time to harvest, he bows down. It bows down. झुक जाता है वो. Okay. So the more successful you will be, you have to be more humble. You have to be more polite, down to earth. You have to be more simple. First, respect your culture, your country, your mother tongue. Many of us are feeling ashamed in speaking in Dogri. Nothing is related to your class. That is not our culture. First, we have to stick to our culture. Somebody's president came to India, like China, Japan, Africa. They always give their speeches in their mother tongue. African president came, he was wearing that African Adivasi dress, and nobody was having an offense. Uganda's president came, they always wear such type of their cultural dresses. But when we went abroad, we always wear pantsuit, boot, and we always use flaunt English with fake accent. So Raman, this chapter, the life history of Raman maybe seems quite dull to you, but if you feel the essence, you will definitely learn something very good from this chapter. So with this note, the time is short. We will do the second part of the chapter in the next class, but I am having a request from all of you that please fill feedback forms sincerely. Once I finish the class, I always immediately send you my feedback form, but many of you skip. This is not acceptable. It is compulsory activity and hardly takes 1 to 2 minutes. Can't you spare this much time for your teacher, for the respect of your teacher? Please do it, and please tell others also to do it. So today's class is over now. Go and have your breakfast if you don't, and stay home, stay safe, prepare well for you. Soon I'm going to release your marks of your mock test, and you will come to know. It's very disappointed that many of you have no idea about the chapter's story because you haven't attended the classes. You skipped the classes and you are not aware about the story. That is why you are not able to, because you are mixing lay. I was there. What was the uh, at the first look what it looks like? So what it refers to? It looks like a tent. What it refers to? It refers to the suspension bridge tying with the prayer flags, but most of you have written with the scarecrow and all. That is quite little disappointed, but many are there who are splendidly good, and I was very happy to see the way they write. And one of the girl, uh, it's Divya, I don't know which Divya, Manhas or Gupta or in some 12th B. Beta, you must, I had sent you the or video link of the YouTube and the PPT presentation of National Education Policy, that this is the recent happening, and you have to have go through it because you don't have even a slightest idea. National Education Policy doesn't mean the online classes. It means that we are following the National Education Policy of 1986 till now. Okay, government schools will start from first class, and first to fifth is the second primary, and fifth to eighth is the middle, and 8 to 10 is the high, and 10 to 12 is the higher secondary. But national education policy means in the government system also they are claiming now the pre-nursery education, playway education, nursery first, nursery, LKG, UKG, first and the second. For the first 5 years is foundational course, and third, fourth, and fifth is the another one, the your secondary stage, 11 to 14 there, and then afterwards what it is 9, 10, 11, 12. So now 10 plus 2 system is divided into 4 years, 9, 10, 11, 12, having equal weighted, and more changes are there. So you have to have the knowledge about the national education policy. Please search on YouTube, please Google it, or I had already provided you the material. Please go through it. At least you will not feel dumb in front of others when somebody asks you about your reviews and your analysis on the recent happenings of the current affairs. This is the most important thing, and the target to achieve this national policy is 2035 in the high school, and till higher educations in the university and all level it will be 2040. मतलब 15 से 20 साल का टाइम है ऑल ओवर द इंडिया इसको इन्फोर्स करने के लिए. अब देखते हैं कौन सी स्टेट कब इन्फोर्स करेगी. So it is not an overnight change. So you might have an idea about the recent happening, my dear girls. You are a Carmelite. So with this note, goodbye, take care, have a good day.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am.
Love you.